I'm Greg Zanas, inventor of DreamCar123.com. I'd like to show you some drawings of the frame and of the electrical of the Dream Car before it was built. Now here is a scale drawing, and what you'll see here is the car is 7'6" wide, and if you jump up at the top, it's also 7'6" long. This is the side view. So the side view would be the same in any direction, and the nose cone is 42 inches by 42 inches. It's a true pyramid, while the body is 24 inches high. If you see here, 24 from here to here, and then here's 24 inches again from here up to here. What that does is leaves you 42 inches for the occupant to sit inside of the car. If you take a look over here, here's the same drawing showing the occupant sitting inside without any of the dimensions. Now, this is the front view over here of the car, and you can see the door right here. You see the headlights right here, and of course, like I've said before, it's 7'6" wide, 24 inches from the outside of the car to the first crash point where the occupant would be in. And the same on this side, 24 inches. Of course, the front and back are very, very similar. Now, if you take a look here, the wheels are wrong on this drawing, but it shows the front door popping open. If you take a look here, this is looking down at the top of the finished car. And what you see, again, is the nose cone right here. And here's the body all the way around. Here's the headlights. This is the front of the car, and this is the door ramp. Now, to take a look inside of the car, here's the frame. What you see here is these little lines represent the body, but you see the wheels inside the 4 holes and the battery compartments. Now, this is totaling up 14 batteries, 14, 16 batteries, 14, and 24 batteries. Here is the exact same view, except now we've penciled in all of the batteries. They don't have posts on them, but you can see all the batteries. This is a conceptual drawing of the same thing, showing the batteries before we made the scale drawing of the batteries. Now over here is a much more finished drawing of the same thing, looking down on the frame. Here's the motor and the tires and the hub. And then here's the batteries again, the same amount of batteries, but here is a lot different. You see the steel frame here, and here are the 2 main members, and here are the 2 cross members. Those are very necessary to support the wheel in between there. And then these are the little knockout members. They're still 5-inch by 12-inch I-beams. This is the very bottom of the car looking up to the car. This is the front of the car. And it's a solid steel plate on the bottom, 1/2 inch thick. This is 1/2 inch thick in order to support the weight of the batteries themselves. Here is another conceptual drawing, a little bit more of an angle. And what we're showing here is how the I-beams will bolt together. See the 2 bolts here? And then, of course, we're able to configure the motors and the motors. And what you see in all of these drawings is there's no front differential, there's no front steering column, there's no rear end. This is where we're able to add these extra 30 batteries front and back. This is the front of the car showing how the occupant sits, and he's holding the joy bar here. And these are the heavy, heavy steel I-beams again. And then this is the lineup here where the frame and the side of the car go together, and that's all of the frame of the car. And I'd like to talk to you a few more minutes about the electricity of the car. If you look down here, this is the controller, these are the motors, and this is the battery. This is one system. We have 4 systems in the car. This is, again, the batteries and the controller. This is going to be the neon lights and how they're going to work off of 1 inverter. And then this is the wiring option for the car. This shows the controller and the 3 batteries, but of course will be many, many more batteries. This is the trunk of the car. I don't know if we've talked very much about the trunk, But inside the trunk, there's 3 chargers in this particular car that we just built. This is the main charger, and these 2 are battery chargers. These are tack strips here that run your power, and what's not in this drawing is the inverter. It's over here. And over here is the actual wiring diagram of the car. If you note here, we have it in color to be able to separate the color sequence. So this is one system. It's showing the actual 6 batteries that will run a 36 volt system. This is the charge port. This is the key switch. This is the solenoid. This is the butterfly switch. And these are the cooling condensers. This is the motor with 4 terminals going into the motor. Now this drawing, I'm going to show it to you several more times, but the difference is the wiring here. This shows each part of the wiring. From the motor, it goes over to the forward and reverse. Over here, it goes from the butterfly switch to the controllers. And over here, we're showing you the controller back to the reverse buzzer, so you know when the car's in reverse, back to the solenoid, and back up to the reverse. This is reverse. This is forward here, so from the solenoid to the controller to the reverse buzzer to the butterfly switch. Okay, over here is the detail of the charging port. So this brings in power here and power through the key and starts charging back to these batteries. Over here is the electronic system to be able to shut, this red wire shuts it down so nobody can steal your car. This is a full view of the electric. And then these photos here, drawings, are the neon strips. So here's 3 neon strips under this floor where you sit, 2 neon strips on the right and 2 neon strips on the on the left. Right here are how the batteries pack. So 1 pack of batteries will run this motor, 1 pack of batteries will run this motor, 1 pack of batteries will run this motor, and 1 pack of batteries will run this motor. This is the power controller going up to the joystick from each of the 4 motors. As I mentioned to you before, when these 2 motors are going faster, the car is turning the other direction. When these 2 motors are going faster, the car is turning in the other direction. Now over here is an overview of the wiring for the 4 separate motors. Everything is color coded, and color coding refers back to the yellow here. Every single one of the motors has a yellow, and this is a 25-step wiring process. They're numbered here all the way down here. And then here is the controller again. This is a forward reverse. This one here goes, as I showed you in the wiring diagram, for the forward, and this one over here goes to the wiring diagram for reverse. Over here, this is an inverter, but what I'm showing is the hair dryer that we use to heat the car, and then the radio. So these are separate batteries, and they're on 3 separate switches over here. Over here again, this is a standard 6 battery system. There'll be 4 6 battery systems in the car, and then these are the lineups of the 6 battery systems. Right here is the front and the rear of the car, and this is showing the tail lights. And I'm Greg Zanis, and that explains a little bit of the wiring system for the car, and thank you very much.